Tigercast fans, welcome back to another video. Tonight's topic is Jack Ross. Now, Jack Ross, as we all know, has divided a lot of us over a number of years in terms of what position will he play. Some will say wing, some will say inside mid. Is he going to make it? Is he not going to make it? Do we have to cut out losses? And the list goes on and on. But I thought we should take a bit of a deeper look at Jack Ross because I know it's only pre-season, so we don't want to get carried away. But his pre-season form to date, he has been pretty much on fire and leading the charge. So I know the most recent match sim on Friday last week, the 31st, he was probably unanimously voted best on ground by a few onlookers. The week before, he was doing pretty good as well. So he seems to be ticking a lot of boxes, which is really, really good to see on the back of him copping that injury last year that put him out for, I think it was about 14 or 15 weeks. So Jack Ross, we drafted him with pick 43 in the 2018 National Draft. He's got 70 games under his belt for 15 goals. Looking at the seasons he's played so far, so 2019 he managed 7 games, 2020 was also 7 games, 2021 was 15 games, 2022 15 games, 2023 19 games, and 2024 7 games. Now, as we all would have probably seen throughout his career so far, a lot of those games from that pretty much from 2019 all the way through to 2023, essentially, a lot of the times he was being used as a winger, which I don't think many of us thought worked well. And this was through no fault of his own. It's a little bit unlucky based on circumstance with the players we had to play in the midfield. There probably wasn't that natural spot that had opened up for him to step in there and play in a full-time capacity because we had players like Cochin, Dusty, Bolton, Edwards, Jack Graham, the list goes on. So all of those guys were probably well ahead on the pecking order, so he had to kind of find another role to fit in. But the wing just seemingly wasn't working and wasn't the right spot for him. But what we started to see in probably sort of towards the end of 23 and then into 2024, was him doing a lot more work as an inside midfielder, which he seems absolutely at home with. And it seems to be his most natural position. And from what we've seen and read so far with pre-season 2025, that is where he's playing, which is so good to hear because I think that's his best spot and I reckon he's going to make it there. I thought I would go back and have a look at his under 16's his under 18's draft profile. So this was from Rookie Me. So having a look at what they said about him back in his under 18 year. Strengths, inside-outside mix, aggression, ball winning, efficiency and speed, improvements, endurance and tackling. And the summary was, Jack Ross is a player who's flown under the radar to put together a very impressive year amongst a raft of stars in the Oakley Chargers midfield. As a TAC Cup mainstay, Ross has shown signs of an all-round midfield game with a good mix of aggressive ball winning and outside class to deliver well by foot. Given he wins his fair share of contested ball with an average of 5.4 clearances while kicking the ball long 28.7% of the time, Ross's disposal efficiency is highly impressive and a testament to his decision-making when given time and space. And they pretty much touted him as they thought he would be a ready-made prospect because he was heading into the draft at about 86 kilos. So he had a good bit of size on him. But I think it's just really exciting to see him getting that proper opportunity and starting to piece it all together. The one thing I've found with Ross is he seems to have a good ability to run smart as well. So he's running to the right spots at the right times, and it kind of looks like he's got more time than a lot of other players on the field. And then he has the good ability to weave in and out of traffic. There's been plenty of times he's zigged and zagged and got out of tight spaces to get the ball moving forward for us, can hit the scoreboard, and he's just a natural extractor of the footy. So seeing him progress and develop really well in the midfield in pre-season so far is super promising, and I think the centre square midfield balance looks better with him in there. Obviously, we've got Taranto, Hopper, and Prestia as probably 3 of your main names that are going to feature in that midfield mix. But I suppose the question then becomes, does one of them start on the bench or at half forward or somewhere like that, allowing someone like Jack Ross to go in there who maybe has a slight point of difference, maybe has better ball winning ability, or he's a bit quicker on foot. I just think we need to make sure we get that balance right. But do not be surprised at all if we see Jack Ross in at quite a few centre bounces this year. And it seems like he's taking everything in his stride with helping lead the charge for the midfield. So is everybody happy with Jack Ross's progress. Let me know in the comments below. Do you see him being a permanent lock in the midfield, starting 22 from the get-go, or do you think he's going to have to ease his way into it before getting a locked position? I'm keen to hear what everyone's vibes are on Jack Ross, but from all reports and from what we've seen so far in pre-season, he's putting his absolute best foot forward, and he'll be right in the mix to be in that starting midfield come round under 2025. So keep up the good work, Jack Ross, and make sure you like and subscribe for more Richmond content, and I'll see you on the next one. Go Tigers!